Alright, let's see what we have here.
Guardian, we have new readings. Aramis's fleet moves across the system.
Oh, this might be the
pursuing
next
relics of
one.
power. Summon your crew. And a request, please. As a favor to me. Do not involve Ido in your violence against the old crews. She is brave and curious, but does not yet understand the brutality of the world. There are pain truths in our history. I should have told her earlier, before all this. But I must learn before I can teach, and for that I need time. Disrupt Aramis's crews, and stop her from collecting the relics. Some mistakes must remain in the past.
Yeah, I bet this is next week's. That's fine. We'll just start with this. We'll read through this and then cut this off. Let's see if... Well, we'll read through this first. Mithrax greets you with grave news. Aramis's fleet is converging on another relic. He also has a request. Do not involve Ido in your violence against the old crews, he asks. She is brave and curious, but does not yet understand the brutality of the world, he says with some difficulty. There are pain truths in our history. Mithrax admits Ido should know about the past of her people, but he wants to be the one to teach her. He asks that you give him time to prepare to do so responsibly. For now, Aramis's crews must be disrupted and another relic snatched from her grasp. So yeah, this is the start of the next one. So we'll just throw this bit in the next video and then pick it up there. All right, so we're back on the new expedition. I guess this is the latest one, Nessus. Did switch up the loadout again.
Crew flew all the way out here to bury their treasure. Damn waste of time. They could have just stored it with me for a small commission.
But we're running pretty much exclusively long range at the moment, which might not be the best decision, but we'll see. Regardless, I am mostly just trying to level this bow up right now. Oh, he's friendly, okay. I kind of like this one a lot too, this activity this season, because they're kind of using some places that I feel like just don't get used very often on the planets, which is nice. And I haven't used a bow in so long. And you know, y'all, too, if you guys ever just want to skip past the, Oh, that's not good. If you ever just want to skip past these expeditions, that's cool. Like, if you're just watching for the story or whatever, that's totally fine. I just throw them in here when we get a new one. But so far this season, I'm really liking it. Minus, as usual, some frustrations with PvP. I still think it's better than what it was last season. Minus some of the frustrations with, of course, the new matchmaking system and such. But other than that, I'm still having a better time with PvP this season than last season. At least Ark seems to kind of have people moving around a bit more, as opposed to last season with Solar 3.0, where everyone was just kind of playing really passively, laning up with pulse rifles and healing grenades, classy restoration, and everything. My only real disappointment is I don't really care that much for the new seasonal weapons, and that's mainly just because it doesn't have much of what I'm interested in. Like, usually what I'll get excited for will be, like, obviously hand cannons, pulse rifles, pellet shotguns. I don't really care for slugs that much, which is why I'm not super big on the new shotgun and everything. Just don't care for slugs very much. Just not with how I use shotguns, since I tend to use them more as a defensive tool, I guess, for dealing with for dealing with shotgun apes and whatnot. The new LMG is cool, but LMGs just aren't that great right now for the most part. Outside of, like, I like Thunderlord a lot, but outside of that, I just don't really see a point in using them, really.
A jammer disrupts our efforts. Dispose of it.
I guess I should say,
Gives you power, Guardian.
when I talk about being disappointed with the weapons, that of course does not include the new raid weapons. Well, quote-unquote new raid weapons in King's Fall. Still having a good time with that. I'm still trying to get all the crafted versions, at the very least for like the hand cannon, the pulse rifle, the scout rifle. I don't have quite as much interest in like the fusion rifle and such. My one issue with the raid weapons, I think, is just that, at least with Zowi's Bane, the thing is so damn chonky that it almost gets distracting when you're trying to use it in PvP. PvE, of course, doesn't matter as much. But in PvP, that can get kind of annoying. It's like I would probably... Oh my lord, I thought I was playing fucking Forges from Black Armor for a second there. But I kind of wish maybe they had just slimmed down the model a little bit. Just a little bit. What I had really been hoping for would be kind of like in Season of the Haunted. I was hoping maybe we get some more old weapons back, you know, reissued as craftables. Personally, what I would really like to see would probably be the old Black Armory guns. I think that they would honestly be a perfect fit for craftable weapons. Some of them I think could have used new perk pools, but for the most part, I actually think the old perk pools on them was fine. Maybe just because some of them are really unique, you know, like Kindled Orchid having both Kill Clip and Rampage. Just made things really interesting. Like, I honestly think Ada becoming the, like the transmog character was kind of a downgrade. Just because the Black Armory weapons were just so much fun. Or even just, you know, maybe a way to get some of the weapons that are, you know, that aren't Sunset, but they're old weapons that are kind of hard to get. You know, like Seven Seraph weapons. Dire Promise, True Prophecy, so on and so forth. I mean, you can still get them through, like, dares. But, dares can be a real slog at times. Oh, you know what? Because those guys are such a pain. He's gonna get the super this time. Like, I actually tend to really like, fighting the Fallen right up until they bring out the Briggs. Just because they're so damn tanky. Oh, there's another Brig. Lovely. There we go. Excellent. Alright, let's get our loot and then move on. Palmyra, okay.
I do not wish to quell this victory, but we must not linger here. Ever since we dispelled the Endless Night, I feel an unease near the Vex domains.
Uh-oh. The Vex put a target on your back?
I'm afraid so. Splicers are no longer welcome here.
Oof.
Well, a hero's only as strong as his enemies. That makes you a certified superstar.
You gotta love Drifter. Nice little throwback to Season of the Splicer there. Alright, anyway, let's jump into the next story mission here and see what we have. Okay, so the name of this mission has something to do with Blade Masters.
You become quite
Wait, hold on.
adept at bringing down these pirate lords. Do you think the rest are terrified? Huh? Yeah, you'll face to all and Tha'ern with 4 cleavers between them.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
A strong arm and a sharp edge. Huh? They always think that's the only thing they need.
Yeah, I had a feeling when it said Blade Masters in the story mission name, that was probably going to be some melee enemies, so I switched to some weapons that are a bit more close quarters friendly, I guess you could say. This new Crucible LMG is actually pretty damn good. Which is good because, man, I'd been disappointed with Crucible weapons for quite some time now. In fact, I don't think I really liked any of them outside of the sniper rifle Frozen Orbit back when it came out. But ever since then, I've been pretty disappointed with them. But this SMG is pretty good. I haven't taken this one into Crucible yet. I need to. It has rangefinder and killing wind.
Watch those cleavers. We don't want
Here
to
we
tire
go.
out your ghost.
Give me that heavy. Oh, nice. Okay. We had something about those snipers. They're going to be a pain. Where was... Whoop. That was close. Well, apparently I haven't even touched this guy. The nice thing about this SMG is it just feels good. It feels very controllable. And I got a blue weapon, which is great because for some reason we still don't have auto dismantle for blues. Okay, that's one down. I do actually quite like this new grenade launcher. At least in PvP, or PvE. I haven't been real impressed with it in PvP so far. There we go. Easy clap. And there's our relic.
Mizrax hasn't told you any more about these relics, has he? I suppose it's need to know. And Mizrax knows.
Spider, why are you using a secure channel? Did my father tell you to do so?
Huh? Clever scribe. No more flattery? Well, Mizrax asked me to keep you at arm's length. Perhaps he doesn't want you mixing in with our unsavory business.
Were those his exact words?
Only a guess. Who can say? And after all, who am I to question the Count?
Spider, I will find out what's going on here.
Oof. Okay, so I'm guessing back to the quarter. Yeah. Alright, let's head back to the quarter. Alright, here we are. Another conversation to listen to. I do feel kind of bad for Ido getting caught up in a lot of this drama. Speak of the devil.
There are questions my father refuses to answer. Have you seen him act this way before? You two were friends once.
Even if Mizrax had friends back then, I wasn't among them. I couldn't possibly speak to his behavior.
You're being evasive.
Oh, evasive? I prefer to think of it as coy. Well then, your father was unpredictable. We could have had everything we wanted if he listened to me, but he always knew better. And look at him now. Cal of a house, holed up inside the city. Picking over ruins, pretending he's content in the shadow of the great machine.
We were offered scraps and we took them.
Oh? Is that ingratitude I hear?
I do not call the truth ingratitude, but enough of who my father is. Who was he?
I expected this from
my duties as scribe of House Light. I will gather knowledge regardless of who would keep it from me.
Rakis, I told you not to speak of this. Do I have to dock your tongue?
Father! I apologize for the Kel's behavior.
Apology accepted. I see now. You're afraid little Ido will take off those rose-colored glasses. Such a delightful human phrase. And what will she see when she looks at you then?
Do not speak to my daughter again.
Oh, don't worry about me. Though, I'm not the only one who remembers. Sooner or later, she'll learn the truth. But I'm sure it will all work out. After all, what is it you say? The light provides.
Okay, that was awkward. Let's see who's talking to us now.
Hey there, Captain. Figured I'd better take over while Mithrax is preoccupied. I heard he's dealing with some family issues. From what I could gather, he tried to shut Ido out from all this pirate business. Might have lost his temper. Definitely lost face. Poor Ido. What do they say? Never meet your heroes? Kinda tough when your hero's your dad. No surprise to me Mithrax has got some secrets. Everybody's got something that keeps him up at night. I'm sure they'll work it out. Folks have a way of putting aside their differences when the world's at stake. Just look at me and Zavala. Or me and Ikora. Or me and... anybody, really.
Alright, you find Drifter handling communications while Mithrax is busy speaking with Ido. I heard he's dealing with some family issues, Drifter shrugs. Drifter doesn't seem bothered by Mithrax's earlier outburst towards Spider. No surprise to me, Mithrax has got some secrets, he says. As for the tension between Mithrax and Ido, Drifter isn't concerned. I'm sure they'll work it out, he says. Folks have a way of putting aside their differences when the world is at stake. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, now to get another reward from Spider. See if he gives us another green this time.
Here for a favor.
Sounds about right. Okay, let's see. You look up from your pitiful winnings and notice Spider is barely paying attention to the Engrams. Bad luck again, he mumbles. That's a real shame, Guardian. But I suppose we all have cold streaks from time to time. He straightens up in his chair. Give me a while to restock, he says. I'll let you know when I have new engrams to distribute. He fixes you with a condescending smile. I'm sure you'll win next time. Ido's voice comes in over the radio. More energy interference, she cries. That was the last piece of triangulation data I required. I believe I have figured out a way to block these energy spikes, should another one occur. You seem to be the catalyst, she tells you. Thus, I will trigger my suppression field the next time Spider asks you to pay him a social call. Perhaps we'll be able to figure out this puzzle together. Okay, so Spider's clearly up to some shit. Nothing else this time, huh? Unless they're... well, we have a broadcast.
I kept this part quiet. I think half of those pirate lords didn't know what they had to begin with. They knew these things were powerful, but not why. Crack one open and you'd find a finger bone or a knot of old hair. Strong stuff. Smells awful. Ask me how I know. I've been holding on to them, but I figured you might want them.
Why?
I thought to myself, you know who might like something strange and unsettling?
That's funny.
Morn.
A gift, then?
Well, yeah, Moondust.
sentiment is appreciated. But no. You know what you possess. These relics are not simple curiosities to be hoarded. They might serve a greater purpose.
And what's that?
Am I your conscience? Discover this for yourself. They are reliquaries, objects of great power. The darkness moves just beneath its skin. Do you feel it? It ruptures, flows, envelops.
Ooh, I like listening to you talk.
And I
God.
enjoy your silence.
Okay, the two of them are hilarious together. Okay, well, tensions are definitely starting to heat up here. I think I also need to place those relics down. But with Mithrax and Ido, certainly, and of course between Mithrax and Spider, and with the whole energy spikes thing, I feel like Spider is up to something. I'm guessing it's maybe linked to the engrams he keeps giving us. So, yeah, this is a really interesting season so far. Granted, we're not very far into it, but it already has me very interested. We'll see if there's anything else at the helm. I doubt it, but we can at least put the relics down. And then this coming Tuesday, we will continue on with this. But first, let's see if there's anything we can... What is with these? Yeah, there's something odd about these, because even greens would have better stats than whatever this is. Interesting. Okay. Guess we can put these down.
Your last raid yielded a surprising fragment of intel. This was found in the pirate hideout, along with the relic.
You forget your place, Erix. I am no longer the ship stealer. I am a Kell, and your obedience is my right. Deliver the relic as agreed, and I will overlook your attempts to extort me. Do it, or face the wrath of a power you cannot imagine.
I believe Aramis Kell references the Witness. Perhaps she really has abandoned her calls for Elixni unity.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, y'all, so it turns out I did actually miss a relic here, so I'm just going to drop this here real quick and let y'all listen to the audio.
I've been trying to determine what exactly is inside these reliquaries, but I dare not open them. The resulting surge of darkness energies would have unforeseeable effects on my physiology. However, I did manage to secure a centuries-old Vanguard mission report from the Cryptarchy. The reporting Guardian said that Elixni crews were infighting over what he called, quote, chunks of rotting meat. The report is of dubious quality, but it did make me wonder if the relic could be biological in nature.